Pridnestrovia, Transnistria, a rebel country, a country that's not supposed to exist, a breakaway republic, Russian republic from Moldova, and we are here with a Canadian, a Mormon, half Canadian, half Dutch Mormon, and we want to talk to him about what does it feel about his travels here, and what does it feel about communism, and what does it feel about the war.
Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Stefan. I am Canadian, I am Mormon, and I am half Dutch, half Mexican, and born in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how have you, found the country of Pridnestrovia?
I discovered Pridnestrovia by actually reading a book in high school. From that moment, I kind of thought it was kind of interesting the way they described the country, like how it was a country that didn't exist, and basically how they ran their country. And eventually I decided to come here. I'm moving back to Canada soon, and I thought I'd take advantage of the situation and come down here and visit.
Okay, cool. But how did you find the country right now, though?
The country's very calm. The people are great. Yes, there's a war close by here, but you don't really notice anything. Everyone here doesn't seem affected by it really. And yeah, it's like a nice little piece of heaven in between all the chaos that's going on between Europe and Ukraine.
So you don't find, like, as a North American, you don't find these Russian people to be antagonistic, bad, or former Soviet countries, being, they have a lot of, statues of Lenin, they venerate Lenin, they venerate their Soviet past. So you don't find them to be evil, as the evil empire, as Ronald Reagan called them, etc., right?
I don't find them antagonistic at all. I've had only like 2 bad experiences where like maybe people are like a little bit discriminatory because I'm North American. But other than that, the people here have been great. I try not to judge how they view their historical figures. It's different in North America. Like there's places in North America that still have Confederate statues and stuff that might not be something I agree with, but it exists. And here they have things like Lenin statues. They still use the hammer and sickle. That's not something that really affects me, whether I agree with it or not. I just think that they have their own particular view of their own history, and they're proud of what they have. And being an unrecognized republic, I think they have all that right to have these symbols and enjoy them and use them as national symbols.
So do you think this country should survive, or do you think it should join back with Moldova, or there's no place for countries like this in the European Union?
It's a difficult question because I'm not particularly involved with the country and I don't have any skin in the game. But I can just say that I've recognized with Pridnestrovians that they're proud to be what they are. They're happy. They have their own functioning government here. They have their own currency. They have their own post office. None that I've talked to want to join Moldova again. And even a lot of Moldovans that I've talked to, they kind of recognize that it's a little bit too long since the separation has happened, and that they don't think that it would be reasonable to join again. So that being said, I think it's probably better that they stay separate and it stays independent. But that being said, I'm not the right person to ask because it's not my country nor my neck of the woods.
Okay, that's not your fight. All right. What are your views on communism, and what are your views on communism here?
I'm not very fond of communism, and I don't think it's a realistic ideology. It's very utopic, but I don't think it's reasonable and takes into condition the human condition for it to work.
Okay. Do you think what is going on right now with the left in Canada, USA, it is like with Justin Trudeau and the woke movement and etc. Is that communism?
I think there's certain elements of it that have definitely socialist tendencies, and definitely maybe some people are pushing for that type of form of government. But that being said, I don't think it's a true communist movement.
Okay. Alright, and lastly, what are your thoughts on the current war between Russia and Ukraine, and USA and NATO supporting it, and also Canada, of course, you know, all the entire West? And do you think that the Russians are the new Germans of World War II, and they're trying to take over the world, and we should stop them? It is on our what do you call it? It is our responsibility as the West, like you know, like in World War II. That's what a lot of people say, that you know it is our responsibility to check the Russians, because it's like the Germans in World War II. And if we don't stop Ukraine now, it's gonna go all the way to Poland, and then you know where it's gonna go.
Yeah. I just want to say, like, whenever there's war in the world, it's bad. I don't agree with any war that's going on. That being said, I think looking beyond the bigger picture of the Russian and Ukrainian war, I think that the West and Russia need to have better communication and better relations going forward, because in the end they'll benefit everyone more. It used to be that way not so long ago. Even up until like 10 years ago, up until like 2014, Russia and the West had good contact with each other, and I understand now it will be difficult. Yeah, I think in relation to the war, I do think Ukraine does need support, but
Do you think Russia is an evil empire right now, though? Is it like the same as World War II, that is, you know, antagonistic, like Adolf Hitler and Vladimir Putin synonymous?
I would not. They're not Hitler. They're not Nazi Germany. Yeah, it's a regional conflict, so I also don't want to get involved about whether it should be happening or not. But that being said, I think that the West and Russia need to get closer together if we need to have some type of national unity, so we don't walk backwards into another Cold War. That's what I really think, and though it might be difficult to get past this, I don't think that antagonizing each other further will be the right course of action.
Okay. So how do you see like getting solved?
Well, there needs to be a solution first in Ukraine. That needs to happen first. There needs to be some type of like conclusion to whatever's going on there. And second of all, there needs to be more transparency between the West and Russia. They need to contact each other and open up diplomatic channels so that everyone's on the same page again, so we're not building bombs again against each other's, and we're cooperating like we have. Like the space agency has been a great way that we've been cooperating with each other. And I think like different missions like that and different cooperation in the scientific community or diplomatic or whatever would be the right course of action, instead of just antagonizing each other and getting wound up and walking backwards into like how our parents viewed Russia.
Okay, but do you think it is an imperative that Ukraine joins NATO or the EU, or do you think Russia should be respected or not? That its security concerns, that they don't want NATO on the border, should be respected or not?
I think every country should be respected, and it's up to the Ukrainians if they want to join NATO.
So Russia has no say on it?
It's not my fight.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
No worries.